Welcome back to the Sleezecast, you filthy casuals. And we talked about in the last podcast about the possibility of a certain sleazeball named Braydan. We welcomed another filthy casual to the gang. Everybody give a round of applause for Braydan.
Hello.
That's not what he acts like. Don't even take that as some type of a theme for the way he acts. It's going to get sleazy in here. And welcome back, Sarek. You know him already from the last one.
Yo.
And my name is Ryan. And as you guys know, if you listened to the last one, probably you didn't, but this podcast is about combat sports, particularly MMA. But we put in some boxing, some Bellator, UFC, and we just basically sleaze around and talk like the filthy casuals we are. But yeah. We're going to get right into the podcast, but first we're going to plug our Twitters because that's what we got to do. My Twitter is at Ryan_NIKOSEY. That's my last name. Sarek, what's yours?
At SFactions, FAKTIONZ.
Braydan, where you find it? Spell it.
I think it's like GUR with 2 F's and 2 Y's.
There you go.
Lots of F's, lots of Y's.
Find the sleaziest of all the sleazeballs, Braydan, on Twitter at GURFFYY. And regardless, we're going to get right into the podcast. We got some stuff in MMA. Sarek, what are we going to be talking about?
Well, today specifically, we're going to be talking about Chris Cyborg appearing in a Bad Baby music video. We're going to be talking about Canelo's Payday, massive one. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. That's coming up soon. We're going to talk about some rising stars in the UFC, specifically from each division. Diaz and Dustin Poirier, the fight got pulled. McGregor and the Conor McGregor and the Khabib fiasco. We haven't spoken much about that yet, and that'll lead into some possible future lightweight fights. And then, of course, at the end, we got our mock draft, but this time with 3 people, so it'll be interesting.
And, okay, so based on that, that's our schedule for today, but we're going to get right into the podcast. I want to thank you all for watching or listening if you're hearing this on SoundCloud. This is going to go up every Tuesday and Friday is what we decided on. So, yeah, this is going to go up Tuesdays and Fridays. I want to thank you guys all for listening. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube page. It's greatly appreciated. And
yeah, for real.
Furthermore, we'll get right into the podcast.
Yeah, for real. Follow.
Gone, baby, the weather is strong, whether it's hot or cold. We're coming knocking on your door. Well, I'ma maintain, I'm staying so high. Don't you let her roll away up till we touch the sky.
Okay, so first I just want to start off by saying, if there's the people, the person out there who's curious as to how long these are going to be, there's no specific time stamp on them yet.
I talk for however the fuck long I want.
We're just going to sit down and we're going to chatter, and
yeah.
it's going to be over when it ends.
If your dick's touching the floor like mine is, you get to decide how long you want to talk.
No.
Got a rug burn on the tip a little bit.
Okay.
But as previously mentioned, we're going to be starting this off with Chris Cyborg being in the Bad Baby music video.
How much do you think she paid her? Actually,
I don't think that it really matters.
Yeah.
If I'm just being completely honest with you guys, I thought it was kind of dope.
Same.
Yeah, but I'm saying she got a nice check. There's no way I'm starring in that bitch's, no offense, but that bitch's music video.
First of all, I'm not one to hate on people at all, and I am actually kind of impressed with what fucking Cash Me Outside girl's done with her career.
Gucci flip-flops.
I thought she was gonna come and go. I thought she was just going to come and go like all the other fucking internet sensations, but she's actually doing something. She's fucking, not to mention she's fucking rich. She's rich. So, there's that too.
Some of her tunes are catchy, I won't lie.
Who'd she get on there? Her first song? She got some pretty...
She's got a song with Yachty, yeah.
Yeah, Lil Yachty. Someone else,
She's got one with Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah.
Either way, doesn't mean she's good.
Oh, I'm not saying she's like a great artist. That's completely opinion based, but I'm saying like I'm not hating on her for being successful or anything.
I'm not. I was just more curious how much they think they paid Cyborg to be on.
Not enough. I mean, it doesn't matter because Cyborg gets like she gets exposure. She gets exposure from this.
Yeah, like who's this weird girl?
Yeah, who's this weird fucking Vanderlei Silva looking ass?
I think it opens it up. Though it's cool because it opens it up to other UFC fighters possibly appearing in videos.
Yeah,
I've never seen a UFC
McGregor
fighter
in a Drake music video. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, shit
could
like
happen, but I think McGregor. You guys think that McGregor is like some fucking clout fiend who just does crazy shit to get clout? I think that's honestly just the way he is.
Wasn't Drake on it at the weigh-ins though?
Yeah, that's why he lost.
Yeah, it's the Drake effect.
The curse.
Drake was with the Raptors. They got raped.
No, LeBron James is the reason why the Raptors got raped. LeBron James is the reason why Dwayne
Fair.
Casey got fired.
Fair. Yeah, Dwayne Casey wins Coach of the Year, gets fired.
But yeah, it's cool, you know. I've never seen it before, and it's like maybe we'll see it more down the road, and it brings like the two viewers together. Like, hey, if you listen to rap music, like shitty rap music.
You can't see us right now because we couldn't figure out the video for 3 cameras. But
Semicolon or quotes.
if you're I'm putting air quotes above rap music when we talk about Danielle Bregoli's. I won't even call her by her rap name.
Beat Amanda Nunes.
Pardon?
Cyborg.
She manhandles her.
We'll talk.
Really?
We'll discuss that at a later date.
Manhandles her. Wow. No respect on the woman that.
No, honestly, like I don't want to really get too deep into it right now, but I think it honestly could go either way. Everybody's saying Amanda Nunes is being slept on here because she allegedly hits like a man. That's what Kat Zingano, I think, said.
Isn't Cyborg a man?
No.
Maybe. It's still up in the air.
It's up in the air, but if we're going to be respectful human beings about this, I'd say she's a female.
She beat the fuck out of me. So,
But we'll discuss
your
this.
fucking neck.
We'll discuss this later, closer to the event.
Don't try and cut
itself.
me off. Braden would get fucking triangled and dead.
I agree.
She would squeeze his forehead and he'd die, like the fucking mountain.
You're telling me she's not taking supplements?
Oh, she
all?
could be on
She hasn't been caught yet.
all of the Mexican ground beef, all of the fucking Russian protein shakes.
Isn't she Brazilian though?
Yeah, but doesn't mean she can't get that Mexican ground beef.
Damn, Ryan, good segue. Mexican ground beef. Speaking of some Mexican ground
Exactly.
beef, we're going to talk about Canelo just getting signed in the dotted line
With DAZN or whatever?
with
DAZN, yeah.
DAZN. I always thought it was DAZN as well
DAZN?
until somebody told me it was DAZN.
I watched it on their stream. They said DAZN.
I was like, you know,
oh, that's how you
that
fucking
makes
say it.
sense.
I was like, don't tell me how to say it. It's DAZN, you fucks.
There is no
It's
O.
your company, but I'm calling it
There's
DAZN.
no O either.
There's no the E.
Yeah, there's nothing.
They like fuck the apostrophe or the
There's no
the
fucking
vowels in the second word.
Yeah.
300 and something million though?
365.
11 fights for
11
365 million.
Wait, 11 fights.
11 fights.
He won't actually fight 11 times, I don't think.
I don't think so.
He's
either.
young though. He could do it.
How old is he? Like 30?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's 30. He might get 11 fights.
He'll
in.
fight
How many? What's his record? Can you pull that up?
even though he lost to Golovkin
Sure.
twice.
He didn't lose to Triple G.
Twice.
First of all, both fights were toss-ups.
No, they wow.
Triple G, you can make a way
Watch
better.
the first fight.
Okay,
and
that's what
you're
I'm saying.
telling
For
me
the first fight, you can make a way better.
Triple G was robbed.
Triple G did not get robbed. I think that you could give it to Triple
One
G.
of the judges scored it like
Okay.
30-27.
Okay, well, they
And
couldn't
I'm
have.
like,
It's a 12-round
how?
fight.
Are you literally
There's no way it could have
smoking
been 30-27.
marijuana?
First of all, before we talk about your filthy casual ass in boxing, there's no way it could have been 30-27. It's boxing.
No, I'll look it up. One of the judge fucked it. It was all over Twitter.
Oh, I agree that there's definitely some corruption in boxing, but like,
There's some. I wouldn't even watch it.
but like I'm saying that there's an argument for both sides in both fights, and I think that Canelo did more a little bit in the second one. But whether or not Triple G won the first one, it doesn't matter because he didn't appeal it. Appeals don't matter anyways, but it's clear that they're trying to force the younger guy. So, anyways, Canelo got the fucking bag. Canelo got the bag.
118 to 110. You're blowing me. You're blowing me. While the other two judges, like he scored it for Canelo, 118 to 110. How much money did they give Canelo, or how much money did Canelo give that judge?
I don't think Canelo gave the judges anything. It would have been.
110.
I don't think the
The
Canelo.
other two was a tie, 114, and then 115 to 113 to Triple G.
Listen, if you think that the
118
fighters.
to 110.
Listen, if you think that the
Corruption.
fighters are worried about anything but training coming up to their fight, you're fucking lost in the sauce.
Corruption.
Maybe the fucking promoter decided he wanted Canelo to win and paid, but if we're talking corruption, it's the promoters. They have a
118
decision.
to 110
Listen.
corruption.
Listen, you fucking casual. You sleazy fuck.
I don't know what's corrupt, but that's not cool. And
I'm
it's
telling
also
you,
'cause
if you
Triple
think
G's from
Canelo
Kazakhstan,
is shooing a
I'll tell you
penny,
that as well. He's hard
if you
to
think
market.
if you think Canelo is shooing a penny to pay off the judges, you're fucking lost.
No, I think
Canelo's not moving any money to the judges.
HBO.
Yes, it's the
Golden
promoters
Boy.
of anybody. If anybody is doing it, it's the
Oscar
promoters.
Della.
Oh, first of all, yeah, Canelo got the bag. Shout out to Canelo. I'm proud. I'm proud that somebody in combat sports is getting
Yeah,
the
but
bag.
it's fake.
And he's 28 with a 50 win, 1 loss, 2 draw record.
And his
So
only
that
loss is to
fucking-
Money Mayweather.
So his future is there and
Yeah.
it's
Right.
set.
He should have another 2 losses on him. but we'll get past that.
Even if you're 50-3, and you're only 28.
Okay, shut the fuck up about the Triple G fights, dog. Like,
Triple G's
we're past
his
it.
dad.
We're past that.
It comes
Okay,
down, dude.
we're past it. It happened. But I'm saying, considering his record, his only loss is to Mayweather. Think about that. And they're talking about doing that again, doing Mayweather and Canelo again. Now that would be a fight to watch. As in, like, I think Canelo would take that because Mayweather's fucking, Father Time never loses at this point.
Yeah, but boxing's rigged, so.
I don't want to see Mayweather take that fight. He doesn't gain anything from it, other than cash.
Also, 51-0 doesn't sound as cool as 50-0.
Oh, he'll fight again. He wants to fight Pacquiao, and he's dead serious about it.
He also wants to fight Khabib.
Okay, let's not fucking even bring that up, bro.
He wants to fight everyone,
I'm
apparently.
gonna throw up.
You can't even see the anger in my eyes on this fucking video, but I'm fucking angry when I fucking think about that. Anyways, fucking Mayweather was flaming guys all day on Instagram. Like he put a picture of Oscar De La Hoya in drag today on Instagram. Did you ever hear about that scandal? Oscar De La Hoya was like wearing a fishnet stockings and fucking girl panties and boxing gloves, and he posed in high heels. That was like a huge scandal, like way back in the day when he was boxing.
When boxing was relevant. No offense.
Boxing's still relevant, bro.
You know what's gonna keep it relevant? The
Canelo.
big man fight, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, that's coming up December 1st.
The segue.
These guys are gonna throw hands.
Sarek's just cutting us off.
I want Wilder to win so bad just so Joshua can fight him.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, first of all, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua's not a bad fight either, but everybody wants to see Deontay Wilder because we want to see like the American versus the British.
Yes.
That's what we're getting right now.
But like not on
No,
the
it's not
scale.
the same. Tyson Fury is not nearly as big as Anthony Joshua.
Joshua could go in the UFC and probably drop a few
Stop.
heavyweights.
Stop.
You don't think he could?
Name a heavyweight that's not taking him down in the first 4 seconds of the fight and ground and pounding his ass into oblivion.
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis has better wrestling instantly. He's
But
taking him
Derek
down.
Lewis is standing and banging with him.
No, he's not. He's taking him down. Guarantee it.
Derek Lewis.
No one's boxing with Anthony Joshua in the UFC.
Imagine Brock Lesnar would.
Brock Lesnar would.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Bro, Brock Lesnar would take his ass down, and you would have him in a triangle choke before
No
fucking
chokes. Just a fucking
straight armbar.
No, just lunge boxes.
Brock, he just gets on top and starts throwing them.
Ask Mark Hunt. He's never been.
He's dropping stones.
I feel bad for Mark Hunt.
But I think promoter-wise, it's what you want to see is Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. But I mean, since I think boxing is rigged, that's obviously how I think it's gonna come out. But if it was a real fight, I wouldn't count Tyson Fury out in any way whatsoever.
It is a real fight. As in Tyson Fury can win. He can knock him out, or he dominates him on the cards. If it's close, they give it to Deontay Wilder.
Probably.
I don't even know. I think if it goes to decision, Tyson Fury will not win.
Unless he dominates him. Like, if he dominates him, like, literally outpoints him.
No,
Like,
bro. 118, 110. That's what I'm saying.
Stop.
Never let it go to the
Stop
judges.
You're not supposed to do that anyways, even when it's not rigged, like the UFC.
You get the finish. And that's it. And I think it will end in a finish. They're both fucking heavy-handed. Deontay Wilder puts you out with one, so.
Oh, yeah. Deontay Wilder throws bombs.
I
I could probably eat one of those punches.
No. One with a glove on or without a glove on? Without a glove on, you die.
No.
Yeah, without a glove on, your jaw's off your fucking head.
You die. I think I could eat one.
Without a glove on, no. With a
Why?
glove on, maybe.
Why?
And I'm talking a jab. He can jab you.
No, like hook.
If we're talking right hook,
to my butt, right on my button.
dude,
That
you're
might
out.
go out.
Dude, you're fucking clueless. Why do we get this sleazeball on the podcast? He's talking reckless like this.
So like,
Deontay Wilder, where you at?
oh my. But you fucking threw me off track. I don't remember what I was gonna say now.
I think you guys can completely tell what he was doing before he came in this podcast. He is inebriated.
You know, all those guys on the come up, rising stars in the boxing area of. Oh, no, I was gonna say, but we're moving on. It wasn't that important. So we're gonna be talking about rising stars in the UFC from each division, just to see what the future of the UFC is looking like. I think.
Is there a future for the 125 division?
I don't know.
No.
Who do you see coming up from there right now?
No one. And Sergio Pettis is leaving the division. He said he's going to 135.
Yeah,
He's the only one that's competing.
that division is dead.
It's dead. They should close it.
We see DJ fight Henry Cejudo one more time because I think you can.
I think they should just shut the fucking thing down already.
DJ.
Did DJ go up?
Yes.
I bet you he
DJ
retires.
No.
Why wouldn't he?
He's young.
Not really. He's like mid-30s.
Is he?
I think so. If he ever sees this and he's younger than that, he's gonna be upset with me. But
Nah, I think
That's
he
my
might
guess.
be mid-30s. He might be like 34.
so
Been around for a while.
Anyways, the
the
125
flyweight
division
division is fucked.
The flyweight division is shit. It's the least deep division in UFC history for sure. Like, they could definitely close that division out, and it would just make the bantamweight division so much better. Because recently, the bantamweight division's literally just been Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw. The fact that you can even make a case for doing an immediate rematch in a division shows that there's no one even fighting for the top.
Dom Cruz.
Dominic Cruz was out though. That's the thing. When he's back, it's different.
So-
He is back now. Like
But
been
he's not
healthy.
really back
They're
until he has a
avoiding him
fight
like the
schedule.
plague.
He's not back until he has a fight schedule.
So who's
Yeah, that's
rising
fair.
in that division though?
Oh, you got Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, that guy's been
He's
sweeping.
big.
I'm
He's
down
so
to see.
good.
The bald guy.
Yeah, looks like fucking It Man,
Yeah.
One Punch Man. Who
But
else?
He wants
Hanato
the
Moicano.
shot at the belt next.
Yep.
Hanato Moicano. He's fighting someone. That there's a fight just got scheduled between him and somebody. Look it up. It's and then we got Jimmy Rivera. So we got Jimmy Rivera, Hanato Moicano, Marlon Moraes, Dom Cruz, TJ Dillashaw, and Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt is not fighting for a title. It's pretty clear at this point that the Henry Cejudo TJ Dillashaw fight is gonna happen.
Unfortunately,
No matter how much I fucking stomp my feet, it's gonna happen. But I'm gonna complain all
It's
the way
not gonna
through.
get any buys, and I hope they know that.
The thing is like the hardcore fans will buy it. I just think it's
I'll
fucked.
watch it, but like that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not gonna get. It's not really a super fight. It's like a super fight within the like.
It's not a
You're
super
not
fight.
gonna sell
no
it to
one,
anybody
No one fucking
other
knows who
than
Henry
the
Cejudo
UFC.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
No one has any fucking idea who Henry Cejudo is. Like unless you're like in the sport and you're.
I don't understand how DJ doesn't get the immediate rematch.
He's injured.
It still should just wait. Like he
I
so
agree.
deserves
I completely agree with you. I think that there's a chance that that's actually what's gonna happen. I think that if you think of, there's two ways you can look at that. It's like if you think that you have faith in the UFC, and you're like, okay, Dana White's gonna do Demetrius Johnson a solid and just give him the fight before he fights TJ Dillashaw. Because let's face it, if TJ Dillashaw comes down, the belt's his.
Mm-hmm.
So Demetrius Johnson will either. This is good from a promoter standpoint because we know TJ Dillashaw is going to win. I'm guessing the line for that's going to be like a -900 or something for TJ Dillashaw. He's going to take the belt, and then it'll be Demetrius Johnson against TJ Dillashaw in whatever division they fight in. So that's a good fight. That's a good fight, and that will bring fans because that's the fight that everybody's been waiting for since like.
And then
fucking
Cejudo
years
throws
ago.
a wrench in the whole thing and fucking armbars Dillashaw in the first round.
That'd be sick. I'd enjoy that thoroughly if he won.
That'd blow my brain.
It's just that he's the real deal, and he didn't just fucking beat Demetrius on Demetrius' bad day.
thing is, like with the bantamweight division, it's kind of like big names near the top, like
And
first three
then
or
just
four,
like-
even at like four.
Then just solid journeymen
Yeah.
in the come ups, because like they're good. Like Marlon Moraes he's a beast. Like he's an absolute beast. He could probably beat anybody in that division, but
I
like no one knows his name.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because you can't.
And he's a knockout artist too. I think that if he gets more fights, as in like if he fights Dom Cruz and he beats him, then like you're looking at a star possibly, right? But the thing is, he doesn't speak great English, so that's hard. Hanato Moicano.
Dominic Cruz.
Huh?
That's a big like hill.
Oh yeah, it's fact. It's
if
big.
he fights Dom Cruz and beats him.
But I'm saying that's
Acting like
probably the
Dom
next fight.
Cruz is just
That's
some
probably
fucking
Dominic Cruz's next fight.
beat up old horse. His last fight was just a decision loss to Garbrandt.
Yeah, it was a great fight though.
Yeah, great fight. He got split open hard, bleeding all over the fucking.
First time in a while.
Yeah. But I think the next fight for Dominic Cruz has got to be Marlon Moraes.
If they don't get a shot right at the belt, I think.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes.
He's been out for 2.5 years.
But he's just a larger name than Marlon Moraes is.
Oh, facts.
But I think Moraes deserves it.
I don't think that Dillashaw is gonna take that fight with Dominic Cruz.
He
He's been so vocal about not taking it. He thinks that
because he thinks he's scared of him.
I don't think no one's scared of anybody.
Dominic
bro.
Cruz already beat Dillashaw once,
Okay, it was a split decision.
Yeah, but he
could have
did
been
it.
called either way.
but he did it.
The thing is Dillashaw.
It definitely wasn't as close as Canelo Triple G, and for it to get voted 118, 110. But whatever.
Think about it from this perspective. Dillashaw he had the belt before Dominic Cruz came back, right?
Yep.
He had it for a long time because Dominic Cruz was out for over a year, and then he
So
defends
he fought once. Dillashaw literally defended the belt once.
Okay, I'm saying, but he
Twice.
fights against Dominic Cruz and he
No.
loses it, and it's like he has to go to the bottom of the heap and fight his way back up. Why doesn't Dominic Cruz have to go to the bottom of the heap?
Dominic Cruz is bigger than Dillashaw. That's what it is.
Okay,
Dominic,
I don't think he is.
Also, I think Dominic
He's
Cruz
definitely
is
not
kind
bigger,
of more
though.
of a kiss ass. Dominic Cruz will do the shit on Fox. Dominic Cruz will do the fucking ringside announcing. Like he's more than just a fighter now.
We're not talking about okay, if you put entertainment value out of it, I'm talking just like
But
deserving.
no,
The word
like-
deserve doesn't exist in the fight game, but if we're gonna say I have the utmost respect for the UFC and all the fights they make sense.
I still think
and
Cruz should get it because Cruz literally spent he's just like DJ. He spent such a long time of his career literally at the top, just literally defending the throne.
yeah, I agree with
Pound
you.
for pound, number one at one point. Dominic
I
Cruz.
agree with you, but I'm saying from TJ Dillashaw's perspective, it makes more sense to fight someone else.
Yeah, well, sorry, Dillashaw.
And he's going to go fight Cejudo. So either either fucking Dominic Cruz can wait and fight Dillashaw when he's done with Cejudo, or he can fight someone else and then literally do the opposite of what I'm fucking... But the bone to pick I have with Nate Diaz is that he sits around and waits for the one fight that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He can go and get at it and make fights for himself by building up his own hype, but he has no hype at all. Like, the hype train has fucking left the station with Dominic Cruz because he's been out for so long.
Nate Diaz, though, yeah, I don't know. I still like Dominic Cruz more than fucking Dillashaw and Garbrandt. I still think he's more entertaining than both of them.
That's debatable. I mean, obviously it's not debatable, it's your opinion, but
He's just such a good shit talker, and he's a very, very good fighter.
he's a great fighter. But so is Garbrandt, obviously. I think
Well, if
that,
you beat him, yeah.
yeah.
But I
that's what I'm
wouldn't want to see TJ face Cody again because
saying. Never again. Cody Garbrandt does not get the belt until it leaves TJ's hands.
No.
Similar to Joanna and Jacek. She doesn't get a title shot until Rose leaves.
I think that's closer than.
No, further away. Joanna one should be further away. She literally lost decisively both times.
Yeah, knocked out, right? Twice.
No,
The
the
second one
first
was
time
a decision.
first time was a first round knockout. The second one was just a 3-round dom. Like, she
Yeah.
just beat her.
Rose Nam and Jum.
You know, I think some of the best competition is at the 145 division.
Yeah.
Especially near the top, Max Holloway and Brian Ortega, like that. That's just a fight you look at and you
Jeremy
go,
Stevens, Jose Aldo.
That
Jose-
fight's
yeah.
in Toronto as well.
Yep,
I'll be there.
We'll be there.
I'll probably be fucking Instagram live that shit or something. Take a video, maybe vlog that shit.
I want to
Ah.
see a guillotine Brian Ortega just fucking crank that bitch so deep. I want to just see it. Oh, I just want to like pop his head off like a dandelion.
Okay, so Max
You know
Holloway.
what I'm saying?
It'd be exciting,
Like, fuck
regardless
Max
of how it
Holloway.
ends.
If we think about what happens, so if Max Holloway, no matter who wins, okay, if Brian Ortega wins, I think Max Holloway has a serious, instant, like, immediate rematch.
Like Dom Cruz doesn't. What are you like? He fought the same
We're
guy
not saying
twice.
Dom Cruz doesn't.
Holloway.
We're not
We're
saying Dominic Cruz
from
doesn't.
TJ's point of view.
I'm saying from TJ's point of view,
No.
it makes more sense for him not to take the fight. But I'm saying Max Holloway, he has a seriously good case to make for an immediate rematch against Brian Ortega if Brian Ortega wins. But I'm not sure he will, first of all. Max Holloway's good on both the ground and standing. And Brian Ortega has shown that he can do things standing, but not nearly as well as Max Holloway.
so big.
Yeah, he's much bigger than Max Holloway.
He's
Don't forget,
huge. That guy's a big dude.
yeah, he's thick, but Max Holloway is tall.
Yeah.
He's super tall. So I think Max Holloway is kind of like underrated in the UFC. Like, I feel like he
I think
could
his
take
last losses to McGregor. Holloway.
probably, yeah. I think that if he ran that back against McGregor, it'd be close.
Was
The
it not
last one was
close?
It was split
but
decision.
McGregor tore his ACL in like the second round.
Yeah, in the first round, but
First
it's a split decision. But I think that Max Holloway could possibly win if he fought McGregor again
Yeah.
at 155 or something.
Yeah. Well, I think McGregor.
I'd like to
might
see
dumb it down.
Max Holloway at 155 because it seems like he's cutting way too much to get down to
Yeah.
145. I don't know what that does to your body. I've obviously never been through a
Or
serious
pull
UFC
them out of
weight cut.
fights and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking guy couldn't even talk. He's slurring his words.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
had a stroke or something. They thought he did.
Yeah, but we got Jeremy Stevens, Jose Aldo. I'm thinking if Max Holloway wins, then Ortega goes to the bottom of the heat. Maybe he'll fight like Jeremy Stevens or something, and Jose Aldo will probably take a title fight.
I don't know. That's another fight I don't want to see again, though. Max Holloway and Jose Aldo again.
Oh, that's true. Fuck, I totally forgot they fought twice before.
Yeah, Jose Aldo will not get back. It's the same. He's in the same boat as Joanna and the same boat as Cody Garbrandt.
There's a lot of those. There's DC and
The
Jones.
thing is,
too.
that's fucking hard.
Some people have.
Okay, I don't want to see DC John Jones again. I don't want to see that. I don't just see the. I don't see the. I don't. Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to that. We'll talk about it. But next one's 155.
You know, Max Holloway could fit right up there with the best at 155.
I've never seen him at 155, so I don't know.
So that's why we're looking forward to it.
Khabib doesn't fight Ferguson now,
Oh.
I swear to God.
Okay, well, we have to see what Khabib's gonna do with his suspension. But anyways,
Fuck it. They'll fight in Canada. Fuck the Nevada. Fuck that.
Put him in Toronto. I'll be there front row. Ferguson could be.
You'd be there front row for fucking $3,000.
Yeah, that's so worth it though. That'll be the greatest fight the UFC's put on since like Lesnar Couture
Or John Jones Cormier too.
or like
Or
Diaz.
Derek
Diaz
Lewis,
McGregor.
Francis Ngannou.
Oh my fucking Christ! But who are the rising stars in this 155 division? Who do you see coming up to possibly get a title
Kevin
shot soon? Kevin Lee was one
hate
name
that
that
guy.
popped out to me.
Yeah, Kevin Lee's coming, bro.
He's got a lot of hype surrounding him, and he's not
Don't
a bad
sleep.
fighter either.
He's great.
He's
Like,
got a fight against Ally Quinta.
And then
I don't
Alex
see
Quintus
Kevin
was
Lee
sleeping
losing
in
to
the
Al
first round.
Quinta. I do not see it. I think that everything
Yeah.
that Al does, Kevin Lee does better.
Watch. I like Quintus just gonna.
He's a
sleep.
tough motherfucker though. Al Quinta is, but
Mhm.
I think Kevin Lee is just so skilled. Like he's got solid jiu-jitsu. He can strike and he can wrestle as well. He's just an all-around fighter. I think that it's just like it depends on matchups for him. Like Tony Ferguson's a shit matchup for everybody.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I
Tony
hate
Ferguson's
Tony
just
Ferguson.
an absolute fucking cardio
Savage.
beast.
And he's kind of cringy.
absolutely.
We're gonna not talk about the way he talks, but we're gonna talk about the fact that
I think-
his endurance is outrageous. So
Another guy I see up there, possibly like one fight away, is Dustin Poirier.
True.
Yeah, he's supposed to fight
True.
Dio.
I think it's shitty that he got pulled from that fight got pulled because,
I was so
got
excited
hurt.
for that fight.
but I think Poirier probably could have beat him.
Poirier could have. I think that it's just hard. I hate what Nate Diaz is doing to himself and his image so much. I hate it so much because he's just he's putting his career in McGregor's hands because he's just literally sitting there jerking his dick on the couch waiting
Yeah,
for
waiting
for the McGregor call. And I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd rather see him go fight other people because
Yeah.
they're good fights rather
If
than
he goes and fights other people, say he goes fights 2 other people and wins both, then he demands a McGregor fight. If he wins both,
and
he
he
demands
deserves
the fight.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think he deserves
He
it.
doesn't
right
deserve it. His last 2 fights are against McGregor, and they were both a year apart from each other. So what you're trying to tell me is that he doesn't fight anybody. He gets the short notice call for the McGregor fight, the first one. He happens to win that one, whatever. And then a year later, McGregor calls him again. They fight. He loses. And now, how long has it been since they last fought?
A while.
It's been over a
2
year for sure.
years.
2 years since he's fought. And you're telling me that it's going to be another 2 years until he fights McGregor for a 3rd time. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to see the rubber match of that fight.
Just not right now.
I just feel like do something else. Like, make a fucking case for yourself to see. Like, the hype train has fucking left the station for Nate Diaz. And I don't give a shit about what he does until he fights someone else.
Would you be interested to see him go back up to 170?
Sure, fight anybody. I
Yeah.
think that
Woodley.
no, he gets fucking raped by Woodley.
Woodley
Woodley's-
mops the floor
okay.
with him.
Woodley wants it though.
But who does Woodley have to worry about coming up?
Woodley doesn't have to worry about anybody. He's literally, in my opinion, I don't think there's a single person in either divisions, like above or below, that Woodley loses to.
See, I really like Darren Till still.
I think Darren Till loses again. Woodley
He's
is
not
so
ready.
all around.
Darren Till's not ready for Woodley.
Woodley is such an all around fighter. Like he's a wrestler, right? So if somebody is a great
Roy
jiu-jitsu,
McDonald would take Woodley though. Run it back.
no,
Rory McDonald is not as good as he was back in the day now.
no, he's better.
He's
He's better now than he was before.
He's
But Tyron
gets
Woodley is
busted open.
leaps and bounds better than he used to be.
I don't think so. I think if they run it back, Roy McDonald's still saying, "I'm still your dad."
Roy McDonald's good, but like I would like to see it. It'll never happen, but I just feel like Woodley he deserves more respect. Like I think that he should be considered in like the top 3 best in the UFC at the time. Like right now, top 3 for sure. Like pound for pound, like I'm saying, like just straight up abilities. If you think about this,
yeah, I guess it's like Khabib, DC, Woodley.
easily. Maybe Dillashaw's in there too. Dillashaw's fucking incredible, but Tyron Woodley, if you think about this, if he fights a jiu-jitsu practitioner, his takedown defense is fucking ridiculous. So he's deciding where that fight happens.
Mhm.
So if jiu-jitsu guys have fun taking him down, like you're gonna try a fucking million times, you might
And
get
then
it
he-
once.
And then he fights someone like Darren Till, who's a
Who's a striker, and he can just take him
knocks
down.
out. Well, he knocked him out on the feet
No, he
too.
didn't. He darced him.
Well, that's after he knocked his ass down.
Yeah, he knocked him down because he's a good striker too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So if he fights a jiu-jitsu guy, chances are his striking's better, and he can decide where the fight happens. And if he fights a striker, he can take him down and he can submit him, or he can ground and pound. He can do whatever he wants. It's his ability to dictate where the fight happens that I think is ridiculous.
he
That's why
literally-
GSP was so good, because he could decide where the fight happens.
Woodley literally needs to fight himself in order to make it a fair fight.
Yeah, or GSP. GSP in his prime would be the best, like the hardest matchup for Tyron Woodley because it's two guys who are maybe equal in wrestling and equal in striking. So it's like who wins
It'd
that?
be such a shit fight, I'd tell you, because it'd just be a weight game. Both of them would just be
No,
waiting
it's
each
not.
other.
Okay, I don't think that it would be a weight game.
Yeah.
I think it would be a grapple fest. It would be a grapple fest for sure.
Maybe.
The weight game with the Stephen Thompson fights was because Tyron Woodley gave a lot of respect to Stephen Thompson's striking abilities, respectively. Like it's obviously like you would give him that much
in the
respect.
first fight, he got lit up.
I mean, he knocked him down in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
But
What's the second fight?
yeah, he gives a lot of
What's the
respect.
second fight he got knocked down in the 4th round? The first fight was the war.
The first one was the guillotine for fucking 45 seconds that he knocked him down to get there.
No finish though.
No. But
Wonder Boy makes it.
that's why he won. They, like nothing happened the whole fight, but he knocked him down in the 4th round. So we kind of.
That's the second fight. I thought the first fight was a straight war. Then they threw hands on each other. UFC 200.
No, neither of the fights were a war. I don't think. In the end of the fight, there were knockdowns. That's what I'm saying. Like, in the end of the fight, that's when he had him in the guillotine for 45 seconds.
I remember the guillotine, but I thought that was the second.
That was the first fight. Anyways, that like he was giving so much respect to Stephen Thompson, so that's why it was such a chess match because he didn't want to go in and shoot because you can get hit with knees, you can get hit with fists, anything coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you kind of just gotta wait him out and wait for Stephen Thompson to do something. But Stephen Thompson's a counterpuncher.
Gets lit the fuck up.
So it's like, what do you do against a counterpuncher when you're being the one who's waiting?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a lot of the reason why Tyron Woodley wins because if Stephen Thompson isn't willing to push the pace in a fight, which he never does, he's a counterpuncher. Then what do you do? Like if you're a counterpuncher and the guy's not
there.
Huh?
You gotta just sit there.
Yeah, I know, but like if you're say you're Conor McGregor and you're a great counterpuncher, right? You're probably like the best of all time in counterpunching in UFC, but the guy isn't coming in. He's waiting for you. What do you do? So if Conor McGregor strikes somebody, he's striking against somebody that will not push the pace. What is he gonna do?
Well, McGregor's striking's good enough where he can.
He's good enough. It's good enough, but I'm saying like it's a different dynamic for somebody. I think that he loses a lot of skill if the other guy's not pushing the pace.
Yeah.
Because Conor McGregor's used to striking, backing up.
Yeah, but he was used to that until Khabib said you can keep backing up, and now you're on the ground.
Different
and now you're
story.
gonna keep eating this fist.
Anyways, we were on the lightweight division and we somehow got to 170.
Yeah, we moved up.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's
185.
let's take a break from the men.
Okay.
I'm talking about the women for a second.
Sure.
The strawweight division, we got Rose Namajunas at the top, obviously.
I don't know anything about
Yeah.
this division.
Joanna's there, but I think the only one you could say on the come up is Tatiana Suarez.
She's incredible.
Very good fighter.
What division's Andrade in? Andrade.
The one above it, 125, I
25?
think.
She's incredible too.
But I think Tatiana Suarez and Claudia Gadelha are the only ones that are even close to the title
Michelle
fight.
Larson.
Michelle has to beat somebody like that,
She'll have to beat somebody, yeah. Who didn't she fight Rose before?
and she lost.
She lost, yeah. I could see that rematch.
Like Michelle just beat Felice Herrig, which is good for her, but I think she needs to beat someone like
She
Gadelha.
beat someone else, yeah. I think the Michelle Larson Gadelha fight would be a good fight.
Like I'd like to see her fight Tatiana Suarez too. Like one of them, I think all three of those are just one fight away from a possible title shot.
That's interesting that I said I have no idea about this division, but you named all those names and I know everything about them. But
Well, those are the only ones that are even worth
Yeah,
talking about.
exactly.
And then we got the 125 division. I don't even want.
That's brand new. I don't care.
I don't even
about
want to discuss. This is the Valentina Shevchenko one,
It's trash.
and
It's a vacant title that was given to a tough competitor with 4 wins. So let's move on.
I think Shevchenko was at the top of that division and will be there for a while.
Unless Joanna can take it,
Sure,
that's a good fight.
it is
Yeah, except for the fact that you're forgetting Shevchenko took Nunes 5 rounds.
twice.
Split decision.
Holy
Twice,
that
right?
Shevchenko is a murderer.
She is. Yeah.
Shevchenko literally, if she wins, that could have been fighting Cyborg.
Lower your voice a little bit.
But so moving past that division, we got the 135 division, bantamweight division. The Amanda Nunes at the top.
Yeah.
Is there anybody
No
even
one's
close to
beating
her?
Amanda Nunes.
Not really.
Holly Holm will get another shot at her, I think.
Isn't she in the other division?
Yeah, she's
The one with Cyborg?
She's 145.
I think so.
Didn't she before fight at 135?
Yeah. They all did.
She went up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Who's even in the contendership for 135 then?
I don't know.
Misha Tate's out. Holly Holm's up.
That's why she's fighting Cyborg. There isn't anybody.
Yeah, Cyborg though, other than Amanda Nunes, she's like the world killer. She's fought everybody. She's beat everybody.
She can't fight Shevchenko.
I wouldn't even want to see that fight.
I
Shevchenko's
would.
so much smaller.
No, it could have happened. Shevchenko would have just beat Nunes.
Can we see Cyborg fight fucking Demetrius Johnson?
I don't know. Even in Cyborg's division, there's not really anybody I see taking the title from her anytime soon.
Yeah.
There's like
Even
Holly
Amanda
Holmes
Nunes.
up there.
Maybe Amanda Nunez. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the last chance.
So
That's
again,
last
all the
crusader.
women's division are kind of like I get the strawweight division is the best one out of all of them.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
so close, right? Not really close, but it's closer
It's
than the
close.
other women's divisions. And
As good as Rose Namajunas is, I think that belt is up for the taking by anybody.
at any time,
She could lose to anybody,
it's a really close knit division.
especially Tatiana Suarez.
Especially, I can't wait to see her get some bigger fights under her belt.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her fight. But I guess we'll move back to the men's 185 division. Now we got Robert Whittaker at the top.
I think he loses to Kelvin Gastelum.
I've never been that big of a fan of Kelvin Gastelum fighting because I remember like he used to just have the weight problems. And I was kind of over him back
But that was
then.
at 170.
Yeah.
And he's with George Lockhart now.
Yep.
So, I think Kelvin Gastelum takes that fight. It's hard for me to say because Robert Whittaker is an absolute monster. He's
It's
super good.
It's like a sleeper fight because I feel like they're gonna favorite Whittaker by a lot,
Yeah.
but Gastelum is.
I'll put my
literally
money on
right there.
Gastelum.
And then we have other people in the division. We got Yoel, who's always close to the top. Steven, like Wonder Boy, Chris Weidman, or not Wonder Boy, Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman.
Yep.
They're fighting.
Yeah.
I think winner of that probably gets a title shot,
That's a good division too.
and it's pretty deep.
Yeah, that's a super good division. It's like the middle three divisions of the UFC are fucking ridiculous.
Because like even after
155,
Weidman and
170.
Rockhold, you have like Souza,
Yeah.
Derek Brunson, Stylebender.
Stylebender. He's coming for that
Is a
belt.
rising star.
Stylebender's
Kamaru
coming.
Usman.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Is he at
on
170?
He's at 170.
We
he's
forgot
100.
about Usman and
Colby
Covington.
Covington.
Those are the guys that are closest to the
Rafael
top. I think.
Dos Anjos.
170 is good too.
So
We didn't
deep.
really discuss any of the
Yeah, he
rising
skipped
stars
right
there,
over
but
it because I was talking about Woodley for so
Fuck
much.
170. Woodley's the king.
Woodley is.
Woodley
but
is just a bigger
Kamaru, though.
Yeah,
Kamaru could do it. That's a bad
the
matchup
Nigeria
for
nightmare. That's as close to Tyrone Woodley as you're gonna get.
Woodley. Yeah.
This is Kamaru Usman.
Okay, what, 205?
We didn't even talk about 185. We just mentioned who's there. We're talking about the
There's
future
a lot
of
of
these
good
divisions.
fights.
There's so many good fights to make. I think if Gastelum wins, I think Yoel deserves it.
Yeah.
He got-
he's the
he-
main
I don't
star.
wanna-
deserved it.
I don't want to say that
He should
he
go
got
up.
robbed against Robert Whittaker the second time, but that was a draw, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he clearly
Mhm.
he did way more damage in that third round than Robert Whittaker did the whole fight. I mean, in the fourth and fifth round, not there's a
I think
there's a 5-round fight.
realistically, Yoel should go up, but
I'd
should
like-
he stay at
I'd
that division? I think he
love-
still earns the title shot. He
Yeah,
deserves
I'd
it.
love to see Yoel go up because I think that I want to see the biggest brick shit house that exists in the UFC, and that's clearly him. Other than Brock Lesnar, he's not in the UFC though.
Yeah, he is.
He's not in the UFC. He's in WWE, and he takes a stroll by the house sometimes.
They pay him for a couple fights.
Yeah, even probably one fight. Like I said, I was saying on my podcast yesterday, if Brock Lesnar beats DC, I guarantee you he just vacates it immediately.
Mhm.
Just like if GSP,
Well, what if he loses?
if he loses, he goes back into his hole in the UFC, in the WWE.
So he's done regardless.
Oh, he'll come back in a couple years. He'll gear up, he'll juice, do as much steroids as he can while he's gone. Then he'll go back in the USADA testing pool about 3 months after he's clean, and then bang bang, he's back to fight the next heavyweight guy.
I think at the 205 division, it's getting better slowly.
It's seriously getting better slowly.
And
Yeah.
I think if you add Yoel Romero to that mix,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that division's looking nice. Like Anthony Smith comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anthony
He's
Smith, Dominic
on the
Reyes.
rise.
First of all,
John Jones.
John
That
Jones
guy's
is
still
back.
the youngest guy in the division.
Is he? Dominic
Yeah.
Reyes got to be younger than him.
I think Dominic Reyes might be younger, but John Jones is 30.
30.
Yeah,
He's
Dominic
young.
Reyes is like straight out of university. He has like
Put him in the
9
ring
fights.
with John Jones and we'll kill all that hype.
He's
right now.
not ready.
He's definitely not ready.
There's no hype behind
No, okay.
Dominic Reyes. We're just saying he's
Okay,
good.
First of all, lower your voice, sir. You're gonna get echo. But
Let's
fucking-
end it all right now.
let's be real.
Let's end Dominic Reyes' hype train.
I
Feed
need
him
to
the
like make a
goat.
PSA announcement out to the UFC right now. I know none of them are gonna see this, but if somehow, some way that they see this, if you put Anthony Smith against Dominic Reyes at any point in their careers until like they're at the top of the heap, I swear to God I will boycott the whole UFC. I don't want to see that fight because I know it could be a good fight. They're both extremely rising stars in the UFC, but if you ruin either one of their careers because they're both on the come up, I'll be so rattled.
And then even then, at that point, you still got like people like Manua.
Jamie Manoa,
You
I
got
don't know that when he got knocked out by.
You got Ozdemir.
Ozdemir is a joke.
he's still up there.
I'm totally joking, Ozdemir, but I was a huge fan of Ozdemir after he beat Misha Serkinov. I got on the hype train right away because he just fucking put him on Queer Street with that hand of his, and then he beat
the crucifix.
Then he beat Jimmy Manuel with a fucking jab. He literally jabbed him to knock him out.
He wasn't ready for Daniel Cormier though.
Not even.
And that's why I think Anthony Smith and him is a good fight.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, nobody's ready for Daniel Cormier, and no one's ready for John Jones.
Except for Gus.
That's how good.
Gus
Yeah. Gustafson's the only guy that is at the level that they're at right now.
Mm.
Unless Rumble Johnson comes back, he can give.
Yeah, but he couldn't get past either of them either.
He never fought John Jones.
No, remember John Jones hit and run.
Yeah.
That's why that fight never happened.
I would still love to see the Rumble Johnson fight against John Jones at heavyweight though. I want to see Rumble Johnson. Have you seen this man recently?
He's a big dude.
He's cutting to 265 at this point. Like, there's no way he's a fucking pound under 265. He's fucking jacked. But, like, anyways, there's no one in the division other than Gus who is prepared for DC or John Jones, and I don't want to see anybody fight them until that fight happens. I think that if Gustafsson wins against John Jones in December, that opens up the division so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the best case scenario for the UFC. But will that happen? I think no. I want to say probably not.
Because there's the guy on the wall right there.
Yeah, because it's John Jones.
I think if you take anybody at up to heavyweight, the hype around them just greatly increases. I think heavyweight might be where to be at right now. Other than
unless you're going for a title, if you want hype fights, heavyweight could be there because there's a lot of guys going around waiting.
Other than lightweight, I think heavyweight is where to be right now.
Yeah, I mean, because first of all, Tyron Woodley is not fighting for a title for a while.
No.
And
Tyron Woodley?
No, he's not defending his title for a while.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, lightweight, that's poppin'. It's been the most poppin' division for a while now.
Which is why I think it's different for heavyweight to be at the top. There's a lot of cool guys up there.
There's a lot of cool guys now, and the thing about that is though, is DC, the whole DC saga needs to end for the division to advance.
I was like, Derek Lewis could do it.
Yeah, we discussed this. It's just
Derek Lewis, if he does it, then that's great, but I don't think he will. But like, there's so many guys like Tai Tuivasa. Like, I'd like to see him and Derek Lewis fight. That'd be a good fight.
I'm still riding high on my boy Curtis Blades.
Okay, Curtis Blades is the thing with Curtis Blades is he's so against talking shit that like he can't. It's not like he's getting fights unless like the word deserve in the UFC means less than the word like entertainment. So
which
like,
is unfortunate.
Yeah, Curtis Blades deserves the title shot at this point, but deserve means less than entertainment now. So Curtis Blades is so against talking shit in the UFC that he'll never get a fight unless he's won so many fights that they cannot say no.
I think if Curtis Blades absolutely starches Ngannou, which I think is going to happen.
I don't think starches. I think just 3-round domination or 5-round domination.
Yeah, I think he deserves a title
Curtis
shot.
Blades is exactly like Khabib in the way that he's like slowly dominating people, but like he doesn't have any hype because he doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
So like it took literally 25 wins for Khabib to get any smoke. So
26,
Curtis,
but yeah.
Pardon?
26.
No, 25 because he had hype when he go into the Tony Ferguson fight when he fought Alec Hinta.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he was 25-0. It took 25 straight wins with 0 losses in his whole career for anybody to look at him. The fucking hardcore fans are sitting there looking at Khabib like, look at this fucking guy. He's 25-0, and everybody's like, who? Khabib Nurmagomedov what?
Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, and
it's
then
like Zabit. We didn't even talk about Zabit as a rising star in the 145 division.
Oh, we fucked up
fucking
there.
Zabit.
Dude, that guy's taking the
guy's
belt
on a mission.
in 2 years.
There's so many guys,
bro.
There's so many guys that are coming up. Like it literally gets me so excited thinking about Zabit coming up because he's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
Zabit
he's good at everything.
versus Khabib in Russia. Book it.
Is he? He's good at everything.
I don't think I'd want to watch the two of them fight.
It'd
break my heart.
Yeah, they wouldn't fight first of all.
I think
Does Zabit know Sambo?
There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, like you're from Dagestan. Like I think they just teach you Sambo in the womb.
He looks like he would know Sambo.
Yeah, like he looks like all of his Dagestani brothers.
Also, Lyndon sent me the torrent for the Beatmaker.
Okay.
Okay, let's
save that for
let's talk
off the
about illegally
podcast.
downloading things on the podcast, please.
So, I think we've touched on just about every division. Let's move on. We talked about it a little bit when we were glancing by the 155 division. Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier got pulled from UFC.
It's unfortunate. I wish that Conor McGregor would have stepped in.
230.
Conor McGregor's too busy balling out of control.
Yep. And drinking. He's an alcoholic now, for sure.
Not to mention, though, that the suspension, the 10-day suspension is a thing for him right now.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, 10 whole days.
But it's October 3rd, right? Or November 3rd?
Something like that.
So that's in like 2.5 weeks. 3 weeks.
I think I wanted to see these guys fight so bad.
Yeah, I was so excited for these guys. I was so pumped.
Yeah, because Nate Diaz was coming back. They could have headlined MSG, and it'd been perfect. The winner fights Khabib. Then the winner of that fights Ferguson.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah. The thing is with Nate Diaz, I get so mad that he doesn't fight, but I get so excited when he gets a fight scheduled. But it's like
It's just
it's
entertaining.
because he's fighting somebody. I don't want to see him fight McGregor again right now. If he's
We already
fighting
said that.
anybody, I'll get excited for it, but I don't want to see him fight McGregor. Because McGregor decides if that fight happens or not. McGregor literally has the UFC by the balls. He wakes up in the morning with Dana White attached to his nutsack, and he decides what happens.
I think this is such a good fight that they need to try it again.
No, they won't.
Diaz and Poirier.
They won't do it.
I think it has to happen. It's such a good fight that I'd
it's at
rather see
165.
right now than anywhere. I'm down for 165 too,
It won't happen though. Dana White's a bitch.
but that takes so much of the clout out of 155. Unfortunately,
And 70.
it doesn't take as much out of 70.
It does though. There's
Who-
guys who are small for the division.
You'd
Like
you'd
Rafael
lose like
Dos
Dos
Anjos
Anjos and Cerrone,
I don't. Cerrone's out. His career's over.
but
I
most
kinda
of the
wanna see
guys, all the
Cerrone step
guys
away
near
from
the
the sport.
top at 170 they're comfortable at 170.
You don't know that though. There's probably a lot of guys who'd rather go down. But the thing with 170 is like, there's guys at 170 that aren't making it right now. 170, like they're not winning, so they might just go down to 165.
Like Chiesa would be a 165.
Yes, it sucks.
It's not even tough.
Kevin Lee would probably be a 165.
No, he's big. Kevin Lee's giant.
That's why he'd be a 165.
Why would he? Oh yeah, he's 150. He's fighting at 155. Never mind. Yeah, you're
I
right.
think even Khabib could go up to 165. Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor.
Khabib could fight at 205, bro. He walks around at like 200 pounds.
I'm glad he doesn't have issues cutting weight anymore, or he hasn't had one in a while,
Yeah, it's because he's
Too
Lockhart.
which is good. Speaking of Khabib, I guess we'll finally touch on the whole fiasco, the McGregor-Khabib fiasco.
I don't know.
This
I
is
think
so
it was
played
kinda
out. I don't even
staged.
want to comment on it, to be honest.
It's
with
just
you.
like, I'm kind of over it as well. It's
I'm
like,
just pissed off that it became more than it was.
I think,
It became such a newsworthy thing only because someone came behind McGregor and punched him in the head.
yeah, I think both the guys on Khabib's team that jumped the cage and
They should-
attacked
they should be
McGregor,
punished for sure.
they're both dickheads. But
What? McGregor hit the guy first.
not the guy that
Stop.
jumped, not the guy in the red.
Yeah, McGregor
Stop.
cranked the guy on top of the cage first, and then the guy in the red was like, "Dude, you're not just gonna punch this random trainer in the mouth
Dude,
and get away
the
with
guy
it."
Zubair tweeted that he was gonna do it before the fight even happened. So regardless,
It was
of the whole
premeditated.
it was premeditated, bro.
Good. Don't talk shit about somebody's religion, his family.
Okay,
You're a
well,
slime
that's-
bag. You're a slime bag for that.
Besides that,
I like McGregor, but there's lines.
Okay, regardless of if you thought he crossed the line, I agree with you. The UFC shouldn't prey on people who. They shouldn't prey on selling a fight based on religiously charged bullshit.
He called his manager a terrorist.
Yeah, like I think that Dana White should have took him aside and been like, listen, you gotta slow down on the terrorist talk. Like that's just more disrespectful than the UFC wants to condone. That's all I think.
There is a whole backstory to that though. Like,
Come on, bro.
I just think there's a line when it comes to religion. I just think the religion should stay out of the sport, for sure.
I think that's not something you discuss publicly, but Conor McGregor does know his shit.
I agree. Conor McGregor does his fucking research.
Yeah.
But whether or not it is, there's a time and a place for this stuff, and I don't think that it's necessary. I think
Well,
that
he wasn't talking in the cage, that's for sure.
was I surprised that Khabib did it, and do I think Khabib is in the wrong for doing what he did? Absolutely not. But do I think that he should be more calm and collected, and he should have just went about it in the same way he goes about every fight?
Yep.
Fucking
Business as
send me
usual.
location, say a shit, whatever.
I will smash you.
Yeah, if he just does that, does all that, then I think that Khabib is one of the biggest stars in the UFC, and he is. He gained so much notoriety for this whole fight. I'm sucks to say, but I think he gained more notoriety for doing what he did. But I think that he gains respect, like in fans, if he beats him and wins in a respectful way.
And we don't even have to worry about him getting suspended to line up all these future fights.
Dana White just said apparently that no matter how long the suspension is, he's not stripping Khabib.
Well, that's good. He earned it. He deserves the title, 1,000,000%.
He's deserved the title for the past 4 fights.
He's undefeated, and he's beaten just about everybody.
27.
Not Ferguson.
But I want to see him fight Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I think that he's the greatest lightweight of all time, but there's a question mark until he beats Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. If he beats Tony Ferguson convincingly, like literally does what he does to everybody else to Ferguson, Jesus Christ.
Tony Ferguson's like like I said earlier, he's a bad matchup for everybody.
I like him way more than McGregor.
Yeah, because Tony Ferguson's amazing off his back.
Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, so like because Khabib works from the top. Obviously, if he's willing to go from guard. He's passing. He's super good at wrestling, obviously. So he's gonna spend a lot of time on top of you in the fight. And if you're a guy like Tony Ferguson, who has the best gas tank the UFC's seen in a long time. He never stops.
I don't know. Nate and Nick Diaz have a gas tank.
Okay, Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz would be a sick fight because that fight is not stopping until someone's on the ground. But
dead, like literally deceased.
Yeah. But Tony Ferguson's a awful matchup for Khabib, whether you think he'll win or not. But it's just because he's so good off the ground, off his back, and he obviously outstrikes Khabib.
I think if you're asking me what fight I want to see the most, it's Khabib Tony Ferguson.
That's the fight in the whole UFC.
And everybody wants to see, like, obviously, I think Khabib McGregor 2 is probably going to happen. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be not entertained about it.
I'm not even going to say it's unfortunate. I think it makes sense from a promotion standpoint. Whether it makes sense from a deserve, again, I'm going to use that word deserve very lightly. But whether McGregor deserves it is another thing. But I think that it makes sense.
I think I'd be down to watch any one of these 3 fight each other.
Yeah,
that's how entertaining all 3 of them are.
And the thing with McGregor that's so funny about the whole Nate Diaz thing is he can literally let Nate Diaz sit on his couch as long as he wants. That fight never goes away. So, like, Nate Diaz is waiting until McGregor makes the call. Mm-hmm.
And if there's somebody else in this division I want to see fight, I want to see Anthony Pettis again. I don't think he was ready for somebody like Tony Ferguson, but I want to see him get a big fight.
I think the fact that he broke his hand was the crucifix of that fight.
Because it was 1-1.
Yeah, easily. Anthony Pettis won that round until he got knocked out. Mm-hmm. For sure he won that round.
But he also,
And the thing is, it's just another proving point of how good Tony Ferguson is off his back. He busted him open off his back.
Hit him with one elbow, do that to you regardless of where you are.
Yeah, but it's the fact that he can get that power and that slice off his back is crazy. But I love Anthony Pettis. I'm a huge fan. I've been a huge fan of him since his fucking Showtime kick. But I think that he's just super fun. Like, his attitude in the octagons is just fun to watch.
So I think if we're gonna talk about how McGregor or how Khabib jumped the cage, and there's an outcry about how people want Khabib stripped. Most of these guys are just McGregor fans, because you're gonna tell me the multitude of things that McGregor has done is not as bad as the one thing that Khabib has done.
The bus attack.
I think in any form, Khabib, what he did was nowhere near as bad as the things McGregor have done.
The only reason that this was even newsworthy was the fact that his team got involved too.
Yeah. That's not even Khabib's fault.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think that he should even be punished. I think I can see why they're punishing him, because it's like they're making a point out of it. Like, this shit needs to stop. But like, in the grand scheme of things, Khabib didn't do much. All he did was leave the cage.
And he went after one guy. Yeah. A trained fighter. If he went after a fan holding a beer in his hand, that's different. But he went after a guy who could probably kill 90% of the people on this earth with his bare hands. Yeah, well, like, the thing is, speaking of fans holding beers in their hands, like, you saw Tyreek Hill get beard in the face.
I didn't see that.
He's fining the fan for it.
He's fining it?
Yeah.
He's suing them?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. I didn't even see that.
It just makes me think, like, is finding people really worth it?
He was in Foxborough, right?
Yeah, they were in New England. Okay. But I think about, like, how funny it is when fighters find each other. It's like Chiesa would find McGregor, and then we see something like this happen to McGregor, and they're like, "Do you want press charges against those dickheads that jumped you in the cage?" And he's like, "No." Nah.
Did McGregor lose any monetary gain for what happened to him, though? That's the real question. Like, Chiesa got, like, he got a paycheck taken away from him by McGregor.
Yeah, but then he's gonna get the paycheck back. So
how?
Well, he's suing him.
I'm saying, are you judging him for suing him though?
Yeah, Chiesa's a pussy.
I think
I just don't like.
If I'm in Chiesa's position, I'm suing for sure.
I think
'Cause
there's nobody else
'cause-
on that bus suing though.
Is that true?
Not even Rose.
Okay, well, Rose doesn't really have a ground to stand on just for fucking PTSD.
Yeah, Rose was so shooken up.
Okay, well, fuck off. But
Oh, fair enough.
literally though, like, if I'm fucking Michael Chiesa, I'm suing. Because, like, imagine going through a 6-week camp, you're paying your trainers, you're fucking paying your dietitian, and you're training for 6 weeks every single day. You're doing 2-a-days for your camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the fight the day before, someone shoots a fucking glass shard into your forehead, and the gash is so long that you can't fight.
Yep, get fucked.
I think
You lose a paycheck.
it makes sense to me, but I just think Michael Chiesa is so corny.
Yeah, he's so corny, bro.
He's so I
And
just
now
find
he's
him
like-
annoying.
Okay, I'm not going to say I like Michael Chiesa, but I'm going to say I don't judge him for suing. But he just tweeted something, or he made a statement about the current state of the fans in MMA, and I would pull it up for you guys, but I don't know where I'd find it. But he said something about, like, how the UFC uses shit talking and like people being dicks as like promotion, and it's the reason for all the chaos, like all like the what's the word he used? He said something about the fans, why the fans are so like poison. Like the fans are such a fucking poisonous atmosphere for the fighters because of how much they prey on the fucking entertainment aspect. I'm just sitting here like, bro, just because you can't sell a fight, like, you're bitching and moaning because you, like, just sound like a bitch. That's all.
I think sometimes when you throw dollies, you get arrested,
Yeah, I mean,
and you
I don't know
deserve
if
it.
got arrested, so.
But I think that leads right into the draft.
I like the segues into these drafts. We use Eddie Alvarez for the one for the last podcast.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm the segue master. But I think it's time for our draft.
Who's going first?
I am going to be
Circus.
going first
And then I'm
because I
second.
won the vote, and then Ryan and Brayden did a rock paper scissors type thing. Except it wasn't rock paper scissors. I just told him to pick a number, and Ryan won, and he picked the third vote. So Brayden will be voting second. And the topic for this episode's draft is best UFC fight, best MMA fighters
Number one
that have been
overall
arrested.
pick, War Machine.
Okay, this is specifically skill-wise. Just thought I'd let you know that right now. So it's skill-based, best MMA fighters. So obviously, I have the number one pick. I'm going to take the clear number one, John Jones.
That's the clear number one, you think?
Wait, best
He's
MMA fighters
easily
that have been
the best
arrested. You didn't say
skill.
that. You didn't add the been arrested.
Yeah, been
That's
arrested.
the whole topic.
Yeah, but you didn't add that. I don't think you said that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
well,
pretty sure I
anyways,
said it.
just
They've
so
been
that we're
arrested.
clear, UFC fighters that have been arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brayden,
And I'm taking John Jones, number one overall.
Son of a.
I think number two
so
is clear.
Easy.
Number 2 is clear?
Yes.
Well, you could say War Machine.
No.
It's
I
never
don't
been more
want
clear.
to. I want to say Gustafsson because he has a lot of aggravated
You're so
assault
fried
charges.
right now.
Don't fuck this up.
Gustafsson has a lot of
Listen,
aggravated
you're
assault
gonna
Gus?
pick. You're gonna pick someone,
Are
and
you
then
taking
Ryan's
Gus?
and then Ryan's gonna take someone, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a fucking idiot."
You taking Gus, buddy?
Well, wait, let me think. Like,
Yeah,
I could
think.
take McGregor for throwing a dolly.
Oh, is that who you could take?
I could, but it's like I don't want to get peer pressure into taking it because.
Don't take him that
You're
off.
trying to make the best team here, though, bud.
You're right. I'll take Conor McGregor.
There you go.
Okay, I guess I'll take fucking Gustafsson for the first one.
All right, easy
I
picks.
shouldn't even have brought him up. He was my sleeper.
No, I already had him. But
He's also
fuck,
my
I have
next
to
pick.
go
If
with
you
something
somehow
else.
made it to me.
you guys can make conversation while I go into the think tank for this one.
The think tank. I already know who I got. I got piled up.
How many do I have to know or put
It's
me?
we're each getting 3.
Okay. Shit.
It's gonna be a good one. There's been a lot of. Actually, this was tough for me to research.
Yeah, you
Because,
did your
like,
research.
there's
you
been a lot of-
You pulled this theme out of us right a minute before the fucking podcast started. You
Well,
got
yeah,
the fucking.
we didn't. We didn't. I think I usually like to make the draft like correlate to something that we've discussed
Yeah.
in the podcast.
So talk while I go in the think tank.
I will continue to talk.
Yep.
But I'm running out of ideas. Oh, like I was saying, so yeah, it was tough for me to research this. It was kind of just like I just was like, 10 MMA fighters that have been arrested. None of them are really like it's hard to find some that are good.
Known, yeah.
Like, so like yeah, there's a War Machine, but like he wasn't a good fucking MMA fighter.
Not at all. It's hard. Like it's.
I
don't
found
wanna
an
say
article
s-
that
I don't
helped me
want to
out.
say something like. I don't want to make an assumption for people that I think have been arrested strictly for the fact I don't want to get fucking roasted. So it's like.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Go ahead.
Do you have your next pick, Brady?
I don't.
You gotta hurry up here, bud.
It's so hard. Has Derek Lewis ever been to jail?
Probably.
Yeah, he has.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll take Derek Lewis in jail for 6 years. I'll take Derek Lewis.
Oh yeah, he was legitimately in prison. Yes,
Yeah,
I
he's in
forgot
prison.
about that. All right, Braden, who do you got as your next pick?
Nick Diaz coming in with the
Fuck.
domestic violence.
That was mine. But I guess I'll settle for Rampage right now.
Oh, Quentin.
I'm gonna take Rampage, and I'll take the boy. I'll take Jeremy Stevens,
Really?
who has
Okay.
also been arrested.
Yep. Okay, this is.
And that's gonna round out my team
Brainstorm.
with John Jones, Quentin Rampage Jackson, and Jeremy Stevens.
I'm looking at McGregor, Nick Diaz, and
That's a solid squad. You got one of the Diaz brothers alongside McGregor.
I didn't even think of the third pick.
Since I have one here, I can shoot it out to someone if they need it.
Mirko's been arrested.
Probably for what about Volcon?
Oh, that's true. Has Fedor ever been arrested?
Oh yeah, I'll take Volkan. Yeah, because he got
Volkan's a
the
solid
fighting in the club, right?
Something
Didn't he?
like that.
He was defending himself though, so I don't think he was proved that he was defending himself.
Well, he got arrested.
And
I
I know
have
Fedor too. Fedor, the only legal trouble Fedor got in was when, or not Fedor, Vandelay. Sorry, the only legal trouble Vandelay got in was when USADA came to his door. He fucking fled the country.
No, he just said the guy wanted to watch him piss in a cup, and he's like, "I'm not doing this." And that's why. So he got a lifetime ban from USADA testing because he wouldn't piss in a cup in front of a person.
Lol. Either way, that's my pick. Volkan,
I think
McGregor.
The
Nick
only one I
Diaz.
had left was Tiago Alves.
That's tough. I have one more, right? Only one more?
Yeah, you still got War Machine.
No, I'm not gonna say War Machine. That's a
With
shit.
Brock Lesnar.
Has Brock Lesnar ever been to jail?
He's been arrested.
He has.
I don't think it was in like 2001 though.
I'll take fucking like Mike Perry's been to jail, but
Yeah,
Mike Perry's definitely been to jail. They probably just saw him on the street and they threw him in the cop car. They're like, this guy can't
fuck
be
it.
out
I'll take the man Mike Perry.
Well, you're definitely not winning this one.
My fucking thing is terrible.
I might win just based on popularity of people.
You got a good team.
Derek
You got a good
Lewis
team.
and who do I have?
You got all right. So
Gustafson?
go
Oh,
through the
it's so
teams right here real
ass.
quick. I got John Jones, Quentin Rampage Jackson, and Jeremy Stevens. So basically, I just took like a small white point guard and stuck him next to the biggest power forward and center in the league.
You think you just secured the bag on this one?
And then Braden's got a good team. No lie, he's got Conor McGregor, Nick Diaz, and Volkan. I think if we were strictly comparing those guys to each other, like, well, I think I'd take McGregor and Diaz over Jeremy Stevens, but I would take John Jones over McGregor over Diaz, and I would take Rampage over Volkan.
The thing is, though, is we need to make like something you get rewarded for winning or something.
Yeah, you
like
get
that.
first pick in the next
Oh,
episode's
that's gay.
draft.
We need some better stakes than this. I'll actually put some more thought into it.
Either way, and your team was
And Ryan's team
load of
is
garbage.
there. He's got Alexander Gustafsson, who I like, Derek Lewis, who I also like, and to round it out, Mike Perry, who hopefully
even
has been
confirm-
arrested.
Can we even
I'm sorry, Mike Perry. If you've not been arrested, just look at your face tattoos, man. That's.
We'll let it slide just because it's Mike Perry.
I'm just gonna assume you've been there. I'm assuming you got those face tattoos in prison. So.
You should have just taken War Machine if you were going to take Mike Perry.
No, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, which is why he deserves to be on
He
your team.
wasn't good at MMA though.
No,
That's
he
the
wasn't.
thing.
He's
He
just
was
a
not
piece of
good.
shit.
He was just a piece of shit.
And beat up
He
my
was just-
favorite porn star.
He literally wasn't. He was just training.
You heard it here
MMA
first.
on his
Braden's
girlfriend.
favorite porn star is Christy Mack. Everybody.
Well, not anymore. She got beat up.
Damn.
She's fine now.
I'd run her cheeks.
I
Okay.
think that's gonna round it out though. I'm excited to see to take home another dub
So,
in the draft and
let's see
be
if I
first
can
pick
get-
next
Let's
episode.
see if I can get 0 votes here. I wonder if anybody's gonna vote. I wonder if anybody's gonna vote for my team. I think that I could
And you
get
smoke
0
a
here.
blunt.
Well, you'll vote for yourself.
Okay. No, that's so lame. I'll just get. If I get 1, it's 0 because I'm gonna vote for myself. But
Okay.
yeah, I just want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I apologize for the no video. We just got to figure out the whole webcam issue.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real. You get to see my sexy face
Thank you.
next time.
Yeah, then you get to see Brayden's sleazy face and Sarek and myself.
I'm gonna wear more backwards.
And but you can see our faces in the logo that's going to be up on the screen during this whole entire podcast. You can see our beautiful face.
Even though my nostrils are pretty big. I noticed.
Same, bro.
I think
And
the logo's
Ryan's the
dope.
only one with ears.
I think the logo's dope.
Yeah, dope though.
But yeah, we put some money into that son bitch. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening. You guys want to tell them where to find you guys again?
Twitter at Gurfy 2 F's 2 I's URG.
Yep. Extremely odd. Extremely odd.
I'm on Twitter at sfactions SFAKTIONZ.
And I'm on Twitter at Ryan_NIKOSEY. That's my last name. And I want to thank you guys for listening. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Subscribe.
Join. We're from Canada.
And if you're
all
really the
that's on our mind.
sleaziest, you
And
will
join the conversation with us as we want to know what you guys want to hear us talk about. If it's stupid shit, then you can go fuck yourself. But
buy a mug too. Seriously.
We don't sell mugs.
No, I know we're not selling mugs, but if you're listening, buy a mug.
Oh yeah, honestly, just pull up Amazon.ca right now.
Just buy a mug.
And buy a mug.
We are thinking about getting some merch and mugs and shit. But anyways, shameless plug. Check out my podcast on YouTube. It's called The Flying Knee. I've been making podcasts. I have 4 up. I do it every Monday and Thursday.
I thought it was funny how we went and we made this the MMA podcast, and it's called the Sleezecast. When you have a podcast literally titled The Flying Knee, and you were like, well, but you literally went, well, I guess since I'm just gonna dedicate all the MMA to this podcast, even though it's like not really correlated in the title. And you're like, I'll just talk about everything on the Flying Knee podcast, even though it's an MMA move.
The thing is I would be totally down to talk about stuff other than MMA on this podcast, but it's gonna be like 2.5 hours long. Like we did an hour and 6 minutes here.
I thought we were sitting here for like 30 minutes. I thought this was short.
Yeah, time flies. Podcasting is fun as fuck.
We don't really have an outro, so that's why we haven't.
No. We're still talking.
We're still talking. Like I said, we sit down and we just jabber until it's time until we're running out of time.
We're just gonna make it fade to black like The Sopranos or something.
I think we are done now.
No. First of all,
you have more to discuss?
I think I got some shit to bring up here.
Okay.
So we do this every Tuesday and Friday.
Yes. Recorded on Mondays and Thursdays.
Yes, and I'm gonna record mine.
But not next week.
Doesn't matter. Mine are gonna go up every Monday and Thursday.
It'll be up next week.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wasn't finished plugging my podcast. It's called The Flying Knee Podcast on YouTube and SoundCloud. Just leave a like, comment, and subscribe to that as well. This is the most shameless plug you'll ever hear. But I honestly feel like we could talk about more than MMA and combat sports in this podcast, and it might do better. I feel like it works out better if we talk about stuff that is not that, because we can actually like bounce current events off each other and fucking laugh at people's stupid shit.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
I think my mom listened to this podcast.
She listened?
Yeah, she listened to the whole thing, and she doesn't watch
titty.
MMA, and she was like, "Yeah, like you guys were pretty good." Like,
thanks,
lit.
Yeah, thanks, Sarek.
Thanks, Bonnie. Thanks, Bonnie.
I can't remember what the word she used.
I hope she hears this one. Thanks, Bonnie.
She's like, you guys have a good rapport. I was like, yeah, like we have good chemistry, I guess is how I took it.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, we just sit down, and this is like nothing different from a normal
conversation. My brother.
This is nothing different from a normal conversation we have. We just decided to record it.
We're just recording our conversations, and then we just got the sleaziest sleazeball of all time in here.
Yeah, we got the hot take, hotter than the hot pockets, fresh out the oven.
What?
Brayden's hot takes.
Oh yeah, his takes are the hottest.
That's why he's here. We need the hot take guy on every podcast.
Hotter than the inside of the hot pocket. Like stick your finger in the hot pocket. That is Brayden's hot takes.
But I think honestly, even though it's strictly MMA, we're keeping people like my mother, interested through the entire thing.
Shout out to Sarek's mom
again.
Yeah. I don't even know how many views we got on that one yet. It's only been up for a day and a half, maybe. 5
at least.
Yeah.
I think if we're able to do that.
Oh yeah, we're coming for you, Joe Rogan.
Even Joe started at 9 viewers.
Yeah,
for the first 5 minutes of his video.
Did he post on YouTube first? I think he did it on like fucking
Podcast RS.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, I think we can just end it there.
Well, we got to think about getting this onto this. I use this thing. I'm plugging Castbox right now. That's what I use for all my podcasts.
Just download Podcast One.
I don't know what the hell that is.
That's an Android app for podcasts.
I use Castbox. So let's get this bitch. Let's get this bitch on Castbox.
Yeah, sure. Castbox. Find it next week.
Sarek, are you gonna edit this?
Why do I gotta edit this one?
Because it's your laptop this time.
Oh, you filthy casual. You filthy casual. Thank you for tuning in to Sleezecast.
Filthy Casuals, you fucking motherfuckers.